Should I say one devoted Cruz-ader, trademark, talked about the need to defund Obamacare for 21 hours and 19 minutes and did what many thought was impossible, make the Senate even less productive. Jim?
I intend to speak in support of defunding Obamacare until I am no longer able to stand. All across this country, Americans are suffering because of Obamacare. Obamacare isn't working. The moon might be as intimidating as Obamacare. Chinese gooseberries actually come from New Zealand. Some time ago, I tweeted a speech that Ashton Kutcher gave. Number one, just as a consumer, I'm a big fan of eating White Castle burgers.
It's inspiring. Just like the scene in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington where Jimmy Stewart gets some bad acid and talks to a coat rack for 12 hours. But folks, Cruz didn't just criticize Obamacare, he offered a practical alternative.
So I want to point out just a few words of wisdom from Duck Dynasty. You put 5 rednecks on a mower, it's going to be epic. Redneck rule number 1. Most things can be fixed with duct tape and extension cords.
See, America, you don't need health care. If you have a medical emergency, just go to Home Depot. This courageous man is fighting to defund Obamacare by filibustering a bill that defunds Obamacare. And what makes it truly courageous, the bill was his idea, and it's not really a filibuster. Cruz knew in advance he'd have to yield the floor by noon today. I believe the room was booked for Danny Goldstein's bar mitzvah. Mazel tov, Danny. But if it's not a filibuster, then what do we call it?
It is important to note that this effort from Senator Cruz is technically not a filibuster.
What looks like a filibuster and feels like a filibuster, but is not a filibuster.
To be honest with you, we're trying to sort out what exactly to call this.
A filibuster like talkathon.
This oratorical fireworks show. It is kind of political theater of the absurd.
Yes, theater of the absurd. Though frankly, I think all theater is absurd. I mean, I paid the money, why can't I stab Julius Caesar? The point is, whatever you call it, the people love it.
If you're going about living your life in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and you're not paying attention to this every single twist and turn, that's what you're going to remember from this fight, is Ted Cruz was the one who was out there fighting Obamacare.
You know what? That would make a great campaign slogan in 2016. Cruz for president if you're not paying attention. We'll be right back.